This here is from March 31st, 2023, from the Daily Mail, and it says, "Are you taking notes, Amber Heard? As Gwyneth Paltrow wins Utah ski crash case, experts reveal how she swayed jurors with witty one-liners and polite graciousness, while Johnny Depp's ex sank her case with rehashed sobs and outbursts." Now, this is not positive towards Amber, not on the surface. They're saying that she didn't do a good job on the stand and in court, but they're also, I think, making an excuse for her loss by saying that. The fact is, it doesn't matter how she presented herself. She could have been a kind, sweet, intelligent person, but the evidence against her was too strong to take her side for any one of the seven jurors and most of the public. That's the fact. So you could say they get some of it right, but what they get right wouldn't make a difference in the end anyway. Let's see what we got. And they say over the past year, Gwyneth Paltrow and Depp vs. Heard were two of the biggest trials. I'm not sure how big Paltrow's trial was. It was pretty big. There was some interest, but people wanted to know pretty quickly who was right, who was wrong. Let's get through this thing. The details I don't think were very interesting for a lot of people. They go on to say the end result was completely different for two famous women. They say Gwyneth didn't only win her case, but she got awarded with the judgment on her side. There was no negative. She got the whole win. But Amber, on the other hand, was ordered to pay Johnny $10 million in the end and lost her case. Let me read that one more time. I always read it twice. It sounds so nice. But Amber was ordered to pay Johnny $10 million in the end and lost her case. And they say she lost her reputation. They say that a group of legal and body language experts have weighed in on why the public, who was clearly captivated by both trials, seemed to go back to Gwyneth but turned on Amber exclusively to Daily Mail. And I gotta disagree that Gwyneth's case captivated the public. I saw it in Long Crime, and Long Crime is a huge channel on YouTube. I think they've got 4.5 million subs or something around there, over 4 million. And Gwyneth's videos did okay. They got like 200,000, 300,000, maybe more, but nowhere near what Depp and Heard's videos got in the millions and sometimes double and even triple digit millions, I think, on a couple of them. And we added them up, it was like 1 billion views for Long Crime there, just on that case alone. But okay, it's comparable, no matter what the views are, because it was a court case in the same way. They say Gwen was calm, cool, and collected and had sassy responses to the prosecution's bizarre questions. Some people said that Gwyneth deserved an Oscar. Seems like there were positive memes about how Gwyneth was. And of course, what they're going to say, which I knew, is that people were negative towards Amber. It was the opposite reaction, and people were mocking Amber. Well, that's because Gwyneth had a ski crash. It wasn't her fault. She did nothing wrong. How can you compare the actual facts and evidence? Sure, compare how they acted in court. I guess you could do that. But the facts and evidence of the cases were totally different. Amber was like the guy who lost. Amber was like Terry Sanderson, the guy that Gwyneth beat, because he had evidence against him that he put out there. In the same way Amber had evidence against her that she put out there. That's the comparison here. The losers were similar. It's not that the winner and the loser were different. It's that the losers had similarities. And they say that experts had a thing to say about Amber's loss and Gwyneth's winning, which we knew. All right, what do you got? They say that Gwyneth was approachable and it made her seem more like an attorney rather than a celeb. All right. But Amber had an erratic and tearful performance, which resulted in people accusing her of trying to come off as a victim. And at least they admit it was a performance. That's what it was. You said it yourself. It was a performance. You're not in court to perform, you're there to just tell the truth. They say Amber made the mistake of focusing on the jury, which is true, which she did. Okay, can't argue. That's correct. They say that Gwyneth had better body language and once again came off as less of a celebrity and more like one of the legal team. But what's the difference? I mean, in the end, it's about what actually happened at that time of the abuse and defamation or at that time of the ski crash. It doesn't really matter about the person's personality if they're being truthful. What matters is if you think they're being truthful or not. If they're being truthful, they can act how they want, and that's okay. The bottom line is how genuine they are. They say Gwyneth had gestures of authority, her chin was raised, things like that. And they say the way Gwyneth acted out the ski crash was through thoughts and emotions. This article goes on for a very long time after this. The Daily Mail writes these big, long filler articles, but I get the idea here. It seems to me, I could be wrong, maybe let me know in the comments, but they're indirectly defending Amber by saying it wasn't what she did in real life, but how she acted in the court that people didn't like her. And once again, the dead horse, social media, affected Amber's court decision excuse. If you're not subscribed here, consider it. You'll get more stuff like this, pop culture, Little Manson coming up later in the week. And if you're not subscribed, I'll be sad, but I'll get over it. See you next time.